Hey, how's it going, universe? Welcome to another daily movie review. And there's something about being sick that makes you just want to watch like mediocre movies, like just trash. Easy to consume. You don't have to. Your brain doesn't have to do a lot of work. Which I haven't been doing a ton of because I've been watching some substantial movies. So it was nice to take a little bit of a break. I've taken a little bit of a break, and I decided to check out this movie I had never seen before. 1989's Lockup, directed by John Flynn, written by Richard Smith and Jeb Stewart, stars Sylvester Stallone, Donald Sutherland, John Amos, Sonny Landham, Tom Sizemore, Frank McRae, others, Jordan Lund. I'm looking for the one guy that I would like to make notice of. Oh, Sonny Landham, that's who it was. Sonny Landham is from Predator. He's Billy in Predator. That's where I recognized him from. But anyways, so the plot synopsis is: with only 6 months left to his sentence, inmate Frank Leone is transferred from a minimum security prison to a maximum security prison by a vindictive warden. So if you were to watch like the trailer, or if you were just to like look at the box, if you were just to kind of look at who the cast is, right? So it sets up this idea of this vindictive warden. The warden is played by Donald Sutherland. You think this movie is going to be like Stallone versus Donald Sutherland. It's going to be kind of a battle of the wits. Stallone made Donald Sutherland look bad in the past because he was such a bastard warden. And he escaped from a jail that he was a warden at. And then he gets put in this shitty place. So he gets Stallone transferred over there to serve out the last 6 months of his kind of minimum security sentence. And you think they're going to be like battling it out. You think there's going to be a lot of great scenes between the two, a lot of scenery chewing. No, dude. This is a really kind of almost, I would say, like dead on arrival movie. It's really inert, very meandering. It's not paced very well. I was watching and I was like, is this still on? Like, what is going on? Like, why aren't we building towards anything? Even if it's just like with characters or whatever, like it just doesn't build very well. You never get a sense of, never it sets like a pace for itself. And it can't decide whether or not it wants to be like this cheesy, schlocky action thriller movie or if it's just like kind of a dumb a dumb prison movie. Not that all prison movies are dumb, but like a dumb one. A one just what is it like to the life of prisoners in a bad place, and these guys they gotta find camaraderie and stick together, and it doesn't do anything with any of those aspects, like it doesn't have any of those classic tropes to even lean on where you can kind of be subversive in that. It doesn't really have an interest in doing that. It's just like, oh, they get along and then they don't, and then something happens, and then nothing happens for long periods of time. There's like a whole like sequence, like a montage of like this getting to know you scene with the prisoners where they're like basically like playing grab ass while they like over a period of time while they redo this Mustang, and it's very weird. It just never feels. It just never has a life of its own. And Stallone, oh my god, you just like you could just feel his ego, his vanity, the vanity project of this, like him taking himself way too seriously. And this is something that I've noticed in the '80s era of Stallone, kind of that when he was really hot, like post First Blood. Because I have to like to admit, like as much as of a Stallone fan as I was growing up, I've probably really only seen like the good ones. And then I've seen some trash from the '90s because I was just growing up and they were coming out. But like I didn't go back and watch some of the stuff that he put out in the '80s. So I had never seen Nighthawks, I had never seen Cobra, or at least I had never like seen it like all the way through. I never really paid attention to it. And when you watch them, and then you kind of like get a sense of the behind the scenes drama and what was going on, and you come to realize that like Stallone was just kind of an asshole and kind of just an egomaniac, and it comes through in his performances because he will not allow himself to ever like look bad. The amount of effort he's putting into kind of this bad material, and not in a way like an eager actor, but he just like thinks he's reading Shakespeare. He thinks his characters are like really tragic and interesting, just inherently, and they're not. And as much as the rest of the cast may try, they do. It's never. They never. They're not very helpful. I will say this: I like Donald Sutherland when he's given an opportunity, because he does do the thing. He does the thing you think he's going to do. He chooses the scenery. He has fun. He's very much a villain. I wish there was plenty of time in this movie to build that character out, and they don't. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just like a thing where they can only get Donald Sutherland for like a couple days. I mean, it seems like he probably shot in this movie for like a week at the most. He is barely in this movie. He's barely even a presence, and which is unfortunate, because I was very excited to see kind of a cool, just Donald Sutherland playing a heel. You know, I like Donald Sutherland. I like him. I think he's an interesting actor. He's an interesting character actor, and it would have been cool to see him play something like this. And he just never is really given the opportunity until the last, like, say, 15 minutes of the movie. That's when the movie kind of becomes what you want it to become. And it feels like it should be just like a goofier, kind of off-the-rails movie the entire time. I mean, Tom Sizemore, given kind of an early-ish Tom Sizemore performance, is a lot of fun, and feels like he's in a different movie. He is in this goofy, schlocky prison movie, and Stallone thinks he's in fucking Midnight Express. You know, he thinks he's he thinks he's in something like really substantial, and they just never intersect properly. It's very odd. And I would say most of the cast knows what they're in, but Stallone just fucks it all up. Like, he cannot get out of his own way. He can't get out of the way of the other actors in the movie. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand what happened. And I wish that he had been more gracious at the time, because I think this could have been like a really fun movie. There are things in here that I don't hate. I like all of the cool character actors that like kind of show up, that are sprinkled out throughout the movie. And I think there just seems like, and I don't know this for a fact, so I don't know, but it feels like these other movies that he was in, like Tango and Cash, Assassins, Cobra, all these movies that are almost good. And there's just something that you can feel it almost like in the post-production. Something changed, or he wanted something different. And now I know that for a fact with things like Cobra. I know that was the case in something like, what's it called? Nighthawks. He was very involved in post, very involved with the movies, and he meddled. He's a meddler. He was not like kind of happy to just do his job and try to do a good job. I've never understood it. Like, I've never understood, like, I guess just the fame got to his head. I don't know. They did, but there's some. I would not recommend this for the general person, like the general moviegoer. No, I think you're going to be actually pretty bored, and I think a lot of that is the pacing. It's just paced oddly, and it meanders. That, like, there's a middle hour 20, where the movie, like, well, not an hour 20, say like the middle hour, okay, of the movie, and it's like about a 2-hour movie, and then but there's like an hour in the middle that is just not. It's not only not interesting, it kind of feels like it doesn't ever really serve any real purpose, even for the characters. Because there's a few character turns and stuff like that at the end of the movie that kind of just come out of nowhere. The only reason they make sense is because the performers were obviously trying to imbue their characters with something. I'm talking about Tom Sizemore specifically. He's trying to, like, kind of imbue his character with something that would lead to his final conclusion as a character, but the movie does nothing to help you understand that. And then it just becomes a different movie in the last act. And like I said, if the whole movie had the same kind of tone and kind of cool pace and goofiness of the last act, I think it would have been a cool movie. I mean, this is a prison movie that's rated R, and not even anybody tries to rape anybody. You think there's this kid, First Base. Yeah, First Base. Why is his name First Base? Well, you think this kid, maybe he'll get raped or something. Nah. I mean, they fuck him up. They don't rape him. And I'm like, this is a wasted prison movie. Wasted. I'm not trying to be sick or weird. It's just there's no stakes to the movie at all. And even when they do finally fuck up first base, when they finally kill him, spoiler alert for this movie from 1989, it kind of like you forgot that was even a thing that would happen. And it just kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's just done as a mechanical plot function. It just doesn't feel like organically built towards, you know? I don't know. I can't, like, you know, I'm never really sad that I watched the movie. I like to watch pretty much anything. I'll give anything one view at least. And oftentimes when I feel strongly like that a movie is like a negative opinion, I'll want to go revisit it because, you know, you never know. But in this case, I feel like I got everything I'm going to get out of this movie. It's going to sit on my shelf now. Now I got that posterity buy. Now it sits on the shelf. It was $5. I couldn't, like, help myself. Oh, $5 Stallone movie from the 80s I've never seen? Fuck it. Let's roll. Let's fucking roll. Let's Delamitre this bitch. Fucking remember that song from that Flipper movie? Roll with me. That's what I did with Lockup. Maybe you will too. I don't know. I definitely don't go out of your way. This is something that would have, I'm sure it was on all the time on like TBS in the 90s. I probably saw parts of it growing up, and I just don't remember because it's not memorable. Even I'm just got done watching it like an hour and a half ago, and I just don't. It's not even. It's already quickly leaving. My brain's just like deleting it. They're like, you don't need this. This is just cookies for websites you're never gonna visit again. So get out of there. That's how it feels, anyways. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just crazy. Somebody actually on Twitter recommended that I check out this movie called An Innocent Man, directed by Peter Yates, director of Krull, starring what's his name, Tom Selleck, and F. Murray Abrams. And he's like, oh, you should follow it up with this, and I feel like he probably said that because it's the good version of Lockup. So I might check that out in the near future. It might be a pain in the ass to actually find a place to watch it or a way to watch it, but I want to check that one out at some point to juxtapose the 1989 prison movies about a man in prison for dubious reasons. So we'll check that out maybe in the near future. Oh, I gotta stop talking though. I'm losing my voice. 12 minutes in, almost 13 minutes. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to know more about Zoobox, there's a bunch of links in that description. So there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's my personal Twitter. Also, if you'd like to make a request for one of these daily videos or for the big show Zoobox Goes to the Movies, leave a comment in the comment section and I'll throw it on the list. All right, everybody. You have a great one.